So we are about to go through all the remix contest entries. As you can see here, we've got all the names down here from all the people who have entered. And then we've got a tier list. So banger, decent, potential, getting there, needs work. And then at the end, we'll pick first place, second place, and third place. So let's start with the first entry, which was Goated Rollers District. Now, I won't listen to the whole tune because it would take a bit of time. I'll listen to the intro and the first drop, and then I'll give my feedback. So if you want me to go through more, just drop me a message and I can do that. So let's go.
My vest, my watch, my belt, my keys, my house, my sneakers, my blouse. I just party hard, hoping no one in the stars. I've already won, babe, but didn't start.
To chase my vest, my watch, my belt, my keys, my house, my sneakers, my blouse. I just party hard, hoping no one in the chart. I've already won, babe, but didn't start.
Okay, so this is actually pretty cool. There's some really nice drums, some cool basses, some cool sound design going on. But I didn't really understand where it dropped. I guess it was like...
I just party hard, hoping no one in the chart. I've already won, babe, but didn't start.
Because you've already got that first hit bass going on in a lot of the intro and the build-up, it feels like it doesn't really drop. Like there's not really a big difference between the build-up and the drop. So that kind of put me off a bit. But the overall idea is really cool. It feels like it drags on a little bit too much in the intro as well, with not much changing. But if you can like maybe replace that this first bass hit with something else, save that for the drop, and then write a more...
I just party hard, hoping no one in the chart. I've already won, babe, but didn't start.
Yeah, like just get rid of that first hit bass from the build up completely and save that for the drop. And also there's not much sub. You need like a fat sub underneath the main bass in the drop as well. That'll make it hit a lot harder, but the drums sound really good. Really like them. And this little pad piano sounds great. The vocals sound good as well. So maybe just work on shortening down the intro a bit, getting rid of that first hit bass, and just either get rid of it completely or replace it with something else. Work on that transition with the drop and add in a fat sub bass on the drop. I think you could be onto something there. Really cool first entry. Right, let's go to the second one. So this is Sevan. Jeepers Creepin. Let's go. Some dubstep here. Nice. I just realised this was public. I'll give it a like and repost. This is live too. Sick. By the way, I have already listened to all of these all the way through as well. So if I'm not listening to all of it, it's just for the video purposes, so people don't get... so people keep watching. So this is really cool. My initial thought is that this is a really cool idea, but the problem we have here is the bass sounds really cool, but the basses are so loud and the drums are kind of like drowned out from it. Like if you were to get like a Skrillex track and play that, you'd hear the kick and the snare or the clap so much better in the mix. So I'd say just work on getting the balance right between your basses and the drums. And also, you've got sounds like here, like this dun dun dun. You can try and develop these sounds more with more post-processing. So things like, I think you've got reverb on there, but it doesn't sound... It sounds like a little bit cheap the way the reverb's been done on it. I like to use Valhalla Room, and sometimes I won't put so much decay on it to get it to sound. Let me show you what I mean. So if I just show you Valhalla Room. Oh, what have I done there? So you can like mess about with the decay in the mix, and then mess about with this mix here, and it can often make the pluck sound more powerful. And then you can mess with like decay separately. So you could put like a delay bank on, and then on top of all that you've got like actual post-processing tools. So you could use like OTT, you could use Decimort, like stuff like this, just to fill out the sound more. And then of course Saturn 2, I like using Saturn 2, just going through all the different options on here. And then if you've got Trash 2 as well, just try and work on making those sounds more developed. Because at the moment they sound pretty basic. But yeah, I think the drums, beefing those drums up and bringing them out more and making them the forefront of your mix behind those basses will make the sound way better already. Because it's really good, like really impressive. All the design and basses in the intro, it's all really nice. All the structure's perfect as well. So yeah, really great work on this. So I'm going to look at this like Banger. The tune is either 100% amazing, or with a few changes it would be amazing. Decent is like you're doing really good, you're almost there. Potential is like if you worked on it some more you could get it up to decent. Getting there is sort of like it's time to move on to the next track, just keep working at it. And then Needs Work is similar to that as well. So let's look at Goated Rollers District first. So to me, this is getting into the decent category, because I think with the changes I suggested, it could definitely be like the kind of tune you could play in a rave, or you could just play in a mix, or just listen to. I think it would be really good, but I'm not sure it quite gets into the banger category yet. And then with this Jeepers Creeping, I think it's a similar situation. I would love to hear it again though once the changes are made. I think it's got a lot of potential. So I'm going to put this one in decent as well. Just slightly ahead of Goated Rollers District, but it's pretty close. So let's listen to the next person now, and this is Esdot. One thing I've noticed is those effects, the down filter's really loud, so turn that down just a little bit. Kick drum sounds really nice. And you got the structure a lot better. I remember saying last time you need to get your structure better, so this is sounding good in terms of structure. I would say now you've got the structure together, you know how all the elements work, you need to work on actually like transforming it into a complete song, because at the moment it feels like you've just put a load of samples together down and you've not really thought about how it's going to be an actual song with like a proper intro, a proper build up, a proper drop, and all of them work together to create this like story in a way. So that's something I would work on for you, and you can do this mostly by just looking at reference tracks and seeing how they do it and then applying it to how you've done it, how you can do it. So I would say that this track, it's definitely, where would I put it? See, I want to be harsh, so you learn a lot, but I don't want to be too harsh. So I'm going to say it hits all the slots, but I don't think it has the potential to go to decent, just because there's not, from potential, just because there's not much, like it's just a load of sounds put together basically, rather than an actual song. So I don't think you could improve on it that much. But I would say take it as a learning point and for the next track. I do remember you sent me something actually a while back, which was pretty good. And that was more in the right direction. So maybe take a look at that track again. But just keep working on it. Any questions you've got as well, just drop me a message in the Discord. Right, now we've got Tragic Mike.
If I start to fade away, don't know what to say. If I start to fade away, will we be okay? If I start to fade away, don't know what to say. If I start to fade away, if I start to fade away, don't know what to say. If I start to fade away, will we be okay? If I start to fade away, don't know what to say. If I start to fade away. If I start to fade away. If I start to fade away.
Nice use of the samples there.
If I start to fade away, don't know.
A really good vocal this time. I think last time the vocal I wasn't really happy with on the track that you made, but this vocal is way better, so nice work on that.
What to say if I start to fade away? Will we be okay? If I start to fade away, don't know what to say. If I start to fade away. If I start to fade away.
I like how you've gone like a really aggressive, but then also like kind of melodic at the same time. That's really cool. One thing I have noticed though is normally you've done like a Belgium style drop and the drums would be like way more aggressive. So it'd be like slapping you in the face. So the drums don't quite work with the Belgium stuff. but then they work really well with like the melodic stuff that comes afterwards.
If I start to fade away, if I start to fade away, don't know what to say.
It might be worth like going and listening to some Belgium jump up tracks and seeing how they do their drums and comparing it with yours to see if you could improve them.
If I start to fade away, if I start to fade away, will we be okay? If I start to fade away, don't know what to say. If I start to fade away, if I start to fade away, don't know what to say. If I start to fade away, will we be okay? If I start to fade away, don't know what.
I think some of the effects as well are a little bit loud, and maybe some of the hi-hats. You could turn them down a little bit.
If I start to fade away,
Because notice you can actually see it on the waveform here. When the drop comes in, it's quite quiet compared to like the build-up here.
don't know what to say. If I
You've got like the risers, the kick drums all slapping you in the face, but then when it actually drops, it's a little bit quieter.
start to fade away,
So just look out for that as well, and how you can like reduce the volume just before the drop. And then the drop will hit harder and more in your face. But yeah, this is a really cool track. Lots going on. A well thought out, well designed track. Great structure, great sound design. Could maybe just work on those drums a little bit more. The vocals are really solid. Maybe turn down some of those effects.
if I start to fade away,
I don't know if there's something going on. I don't know what it is. There's just feels like there's something missing on the drop, and I don't know if it is the drums. I think it might be the drums. Maybe they're just not cohesive. The drums and the basses, they're not like cohesive together. Probably used the wrong word there, but you know what I mean. So maybe just look into that. But that being said, this is definitely going into #1 slot. I'm not going to put it in banger just because of that reason, just because there's something slightly missing from the drop. But overall, really great work there. Right, now we've got Dorwans. If I pronounced that wrong, Dorwans, I'm sorry. I'll drop you a follow as well. I'll drop everyone who's submitted a follow. So Dorwans actually recently joined the Production Academy. And so it's great to have you submitting a track as well. Let's listen. Really cool sample in the intro. I like that, and I like the crowd cheering in the background. There's some interesting drum samples. That kick drum is a little bit off though. It doesn't sound like it's sitting well in the mix, and the actual sample itself sounds a bit distorted. I like what you've done there with all the different samples from the pack, the beta pack. That's really cool. Okay, I'm not really sure what happens here, because you've got all the basses, but then you've got no drums. It sounds like the drop should have started here. Here. So maybe you could add drums over the top here, and then get rid of this section here where the drums were playing. and turn it into like a drop. So this is your intro, then you've got your build up, and then you've got your drop when these basses come in. At the moment, it just feels a little bit like you've overcomplicated it. And also one thing you want to try and keep to is keeping the drums consistent throughout. So you've got your main kick drum sample, and then you could maybe EQ it, the low end out at certain points, but don't like completely transform the sample, which you've done here. Like the kick drum starts out here, like here, and then it goes like really loud here, and it's really quiet and sounds quite different. So I think what you need to do is just simplify everything down. Just get an intro, a build up, a drop, and just keep working with that. Because I can see that you've got some really good ideas here, but it's just currently not structured properly. So structure, structure, structure. Focus on structure. So I'm going to put this in get in there, because I think with the right stuff, you'll be able to, with the right focus on structure, you'll definitely be able to improve this. But don't necessarily come back to this track. Move on to the next track and just focus on structure. And you should know how to do that now. You're in the academy, so just drop me a message if you get stuck as well. Right, now we've got Bowman. First thing I want to say, that intro was awesome. Really likes that. Didn't even get boring as well, despite it being quite long. Really good intro. And when that vocal came in, that was so cool. Also, the drums sound really great. The snare could maybe be a little bit thicker, but it's very, very minor. Maybe a little bit more low end on it, but I think overall it sounds alright. Yes, that's really good. So perfect. Perfect up until this point, the track. I think this like bub bass sound sounds a little bit cheap and doesn't really fit the vibe of the track up to that point, because you've got like this crazy, like that vocal sounds amazing, that ARP sounds amazing, the pad sounds amazing, and then that bass comes in, it just sounds a little bit out of place. And so does the respace as well. So I'd maybe just remove both of them and try a different style on the drop. And it does feel like something's missing when the initial drop hits. like some sort of lead. I think you do bring the lead in later on here. I don't know, it just feels like the drop doesn't currently work with the incredible intro. The drums work, but it might just be worth like removing everything apart from the drums from the drop and that bass and all the basses, and just trying something else. I don't know what exactly without, it might take a lot of trial and error. Have you got some like reference tracks you can refer to as well? Or maybe just try a different melody over what you've got at the moment. Some sort of lead, big lead, big bulky lead. It's really difficult this actually to know without like looking at the project. Yeah, I'd remove that and remove the respace. Remove everything apart from the drums and just listen to it just like that, and then see if you can come up with any new ideas. But yeah, a lot of potential here. This is really cool. Really nice work on that intro. Probably the best intro yet. It's just the drop lets it down a little bit. So we're going to put this into decent as well. But yeah, keep up the good work, Bowman, because that's really great. Really impressed with that. Right, now we've got... Sorry if I butcher the pronunciation of this. Tayoke 007. So this is another person who's in the academy. So I'm really excited to hear this. I've already listened to it, but I'm excited to hear it again.
Welcome to the Anti-Gravity Racing League. Brace yourselves for the ultimate test of speed and survival. And this neon battleground, every tongue can steal your fate. No mercy, no limits, only the furless shall prevail. Synchronization locked. Countdown engaged. Fire.
Sounds like the last note of your like melody progression is out of key. Other than that, it sounds really good. That bit, the duh. All this sounds really great as well, but the vocal is kind of lost in the mix a little bit. So if you can bring the vocal out more, that would sound great. But it all works well. So I can see exactly what you're trying to do here, and if it was pulled off like completely, then this would be a banger without a doubt. But it just sounds a bit like there's too much going on at the moment, and the vocals lost, and I don't really know what it is, but it like, I think it just needs simplifying a little bit. It almost sounds like too full, which I never normally say. just a bit chaotic. Like here, when you've got this really cool like break sound here. Why can't you just keep the breaks going and then use the drums on the drop? Because it sounds like it drops here and then it drops again here, which is a little bit confusing. There's something a little bit weird going on with the structure. Like this bit sounds great though, but then it drops again there. Yeah, that's really cool. I really like that. Really nice sound design as well. How loud are the drums compared to everything else as well? Maybe the drums need to be beefed up a little bit as well, or some of the elements turned down. But I think... I don't know what you could do with this. Try breaks on this bit here, on this section, and then just make this the main drop. And see if you can beef up the drums here, and see if you can take anything out to make it like sound more clearer, and then boost up those vocals as well. And try and make it as groovy as possible. Have you got like a kick drum underneath one of the snares? Is it? I don't know if there's a kick drum underneath one of the snares or something that's making it sound like it's double hitting a little bit. The groove is like throwing me off a little bit. So just check that as well. But yeah, this has got a lot of potential, for sure. I really like this. There's some elements of this, like this section here, and the initial part of the drop that just like hit. Sound really great. Really like it. Really clever sound design. Ah, I reckon this could go in banger, you know? I'm gonna put it in decent. I'm not sure if it's going to be first yet. We'll see. But that's some really, really good, that is. Right. Now, Torkz. I didn't follow you, sorry. Let's look at Torkz Rave.
Went dark, light shine from the front of the stairs. From the start, always knew that I would up the rev. Heart racing, fully carnage as we up the pace. Always wishing that we could have stayed, but it's there. Bouncers trying to shut the stairs, while I'm trying to find another place to run away. Man, I wish this night could last forever. Yeah, I love the rev.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I love the rev.
That initial sound on the drop is so fire. What the hell? That sounds awesome, that drop. Right, I just Before we go into the drop, I just want to go back. So you've got the clap hitting throughout the entire intro and build, and it sounds great on the drop, but on the intro it just sounds so aggressive and like kind of annoying. It's okay here. But then you've got it here throughout the entire build up, and it's like really loud and in your face. So maybe remove, you could even like double the intro. So this. So this first 10 seconds, you could double this. I don't know, maybe you've got some more vocals you can add in, maybe you don't. Maybe double that, 22 seconds long, and then take the clap out, let the track breathe a bit for the build up, and see how else you can make the build up sound more effective. So let it breathe, then maybe you could gradually bring this clap back in, or you could bring it in, gradually bring it in, EQ'd out a little bit, or you could use like a kick drum instead, or just something. Look at some reference tracks on how you could do it. You could even just let it breathe and not have a kick or clap at all. You just have to do a bit of trial and error. So you've got your 16 bars. I think that was that first 11 seconds, 8 bars. I think so. So you got 16 bars of intro, 8 bars of build up, and then the drop. Yeah, so I think if you fix this clap drum error, then this track will be a banger, 100%. All those basses sound perfect. The drums work perfectly with the basses. I love the little effects you've got in the background as well. The call and response is brilliant. I can't put any fault on the drop, to be honest. You can maybe remove that horn from the background behind those basses, because it doesn't really add much. The horn from the intro, it's just kind of overlaid randomly. So maybe just remove that, just to simplify it down a bit. But that sounds really cool. Yeah, I'd say that's the only thing I'd remove, just that one thing. Everything else keep as it is. So remove that, fix the clap drum, maybe make the intro a little bit longer, and that is a banger. And because I haven't actually, because those are only small things that could easily be changed, the overall tune is already there. I'm actually going to put this in banger because I really like that. And I hope you guys agree with me, because that just sounds so cool, that drop. It's the fullest. I mean, this intro is really cool, but at the end of the day, the drop is slightly more important. Just slightly. I mean, massively more important than the intro, because that's what most people listen to. And that's what gets the most reaction. So now I've got to pick first, second, and third. So I'm going to go away and have a little think about this, and then I'll be back with my opinion and the result. We have a last second submission here that I said I'd quickly look at. So let's just listen to this tune here by Siebes.
I come here for a fucking shootout, right? A proper shootout with some proper men. Call yourself a fucking gangster. Shootout, right? It's a fucking shootout.
That main bass is really bouncy. I really like that. Reminds me a little bit of Backbone by Stormzy and Chase and Status. Kick and clap sound really clear as well in the mix. That horn behind the main bass doesn't really go. It kind of makes it sound a bit disjointed. Like I would just focus on that main bouncy bass and not have that horn there.
I come here for a fucking shootout, right? A proper shootout with some proper men. Like Colonel Custer, Geronimo. You ever heard of them? No. Because you were too busy in your pinning, making the fucking field.
Is that from Peaky Blinders? Like, I can't remember. Is it Tom Hardy?
Call yourself a fucking gangster. Shootout, right? It's a fucking shootout.
I think one other thing that stood out to me was the build-up. It kind of just like abruptly goes into the drop a little bit.
Call yourself a fucking gangster.
Like here.
Shootout, right? It's a fucking shootout.
Feels like the build-up should be twice as long and then it goes into the drop. The drop kind of happens suddenly. You need a clear distinction between your build-up and your drop to make it hit harder. Also make sure your intro is quieter than your drop. It sounds quite loud, these pads. And then when the drop hits, it seems to stay like a similar level. But overall, this is pretty cool. I like the ideas behind it. It just needs a bit of fixing on the structure and maybe not so much chaotic stuff going on. Simplify it down a little bit if you can. But your kick and your clap are like perfectly mixed. You can hear them really clearly. The clap might be slightly too loud, but you've got them balanced in the drop right, which is nice. Because we've been struggling with that with quite a lot in this stream, with the drums not being the forefront of the mix. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Nice work. If you've got any other questions as well, just feel free to drop me a message. So I've gone away and had a think. Really, really difficult to decide who gets what position. So first I'll go through the honourable mentions. So Stevan or Seven, you get an honourable mention because this is really, really good. And it's got a lot of potential. And if you make those changes and keep working on new music, really excited to see what you produce next. And then my second honourable mention is Go to Rollers District. You almost got onto the podium, but it was just that I couldn't really distinguish the build-up from the drop that kind of let it down a little bit. And if those changes were made, and if the changes I suggested to get made, then it may be a different story. May have been a different story. But still really good. I really like the drums on this especially. They sound really sick. And then we have the 3 podium winners. So in third place, I have gone with... I'm going to butcher the name again, I'm sorry. Torkz. Tell me how you pronounce it. Torkz 007. This was a really cool idea and got a lot of potential if you just fix up those few little bits. So keep up the good work. And then in second place, we've got Tragic Mike with Fade Away, just because overall this was really full and great track. It was just lacking a little bit on the drop, which let it down a little bit, but overall really, really good. And then first place, we've got Torkz, just because the drop was so basically perfect and it just blew me away a little bit. So that's why you get first place. Still got a couple of changes to make it really stand out, but the drop was there. So let me know in the comments who you thought won. Do you agree with my choices? If not, let me know why. But I think I've done as best as I can to fairly objectively score these tracks from a producer perspective. And everyone who's won, drop me a message on Discord and I will give you your prizes. I'll also make an announcement in the Discord so you can see what prizes you've won. Thank you for everyone who took part, and we'll do another one of these again soon because they're always really good fun. And I'll see you in the next one.